Day 2 solo traveling in Guatemala, and imagine my disappointment when I wake up to the weather looking like this on the one and only day that I leave to hike Acatenango volcano. But I was trying to keep my spirits high and hoping that the clouds would pass later in the day, so I grabbed coffee and breakfast at the hostel, then I laced up my hiking boots, waited for the tour company to pick me up at the hostel, and then drove about an hour to the office, which was at the base of the hike. Doing this Acatenango volcano hike has been on my bucket list for so long now, and it's honestly one of the main reasons that I spontaneously booked this solo trip, hence why I'm trying to keep my hopes up at this point so that the clouds will pass and we can see the lava today. Everyone grabbed hiking sticks and packed up their backpacks at the office, and then we set off on the coolest hike I've ever been on. Also debatably the hardest hike I've ever been on. I booked the hike with Soy Tours, and we had a group of around 25 or 30 people, and a bunch of people were also solo traveling, so everyone was super chatty and friendly, which made the hike so much better. We did stop about every 30 to 40 minutes because this hike is no joke, and the elevation here is killer and just makes everything so much harder. And yes, we were hiking up in the clouds the entire way up the volcano. There were definitely supposed to be some insane views throughout the hike, but the only insane view that we saw on the way up was the center of a cloud. About halfway up the volcano, we stopped for a longer lunch at this little rest area. The tour company gave us these pre-packed lunches before we started the hike, and they were honestly perfect for a little mid-hike lunch. Definitely needed a food break at this point to keep energy up because this entire hike up to base camp took our group 5 hours. Of course, that includes stops like lunch and basically every 30 minutes, but still, 5 hours is a long time considering the elevation at base camp is nearly 12,000 feet. The closer that we got to base camp, the more and more the clouds rolled in, and I'm not gonna lie, it was slightly defeating to make it all the way up and not be able to see anything, but we were trying to keep hopes high because there was still all night. We got a fire going when we made it up to base camp to warm up, and then we set all of our stuff down in our tiny little cabins. They were so small and adorable. Back in the main area, everyone was just hanging out and super excited that the hard part was behind us at this point. We ate dinner that was prepared by the guides, and then all of a sudden, even in the pitch black, we saw the tiniest outline of fuego in the distance and realized that the clouds had finally passed. We sat there for hours and watched the lava flow out of the volcano. It erupted almost every 15 to 20 minutes, which is actually insane. And we all went to bed around 8 or 9 p.m. because tomorrow morning we have a 4 a.m. wake up call to finish the hike up the summit and hopefully, fingers crossed, watch sunrise if the weather cooperates with us.